Good afternoon, California Charter School teachers, parents, students, leaders, and supporters. Welcome to the Rally for Charter School Funding Equity. My name is Jacqueline Elliot, and I am a charter school leader, a CCSA board member, and a concerned citizen, a very concerned citizen. I have been involved in the charter school movement since 1995, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Puck Schools in Los Angeles. Thank you. Like you, I'm committed to reforming public education to ensure that all students have access to a high-quality public education regardless of race, income, or zip code. This afternoon, you will hear from leaders from across the state whose collective work is moving us every day closer to that vision. To help us get started this afternoon, please help me welcome the Oakland Military Institute Color Guard for the presentation of the colors.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cadet Captain Garland Lee. I am the Cadet Commander at Oakland Military Institute. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, OMI. Now, let's see who's here today representing the 412,000 students enrolled in California charter schools. Make some noise if you're a charter school parent. All right. Now let's hear from the charter school teachers out there. How about the charter school students? All right. Make some noise if you're here from Southern California. All right. How about Northern California? All right, and why are we here today? We are here because charter school students are public school students. They deserve the same funding as other public school students. We are here because California law says charter public schools should get equal funding to a similar district public school, but they don't. We are here because years of funding inequities coupled with facility struggles have made it almost impossible for new charter schools to open in communities desperately seeking new educational options. We are here because the governor's budget proposals are a great step forward towards leveling the playing field for charter schools. And we support his efforts to ease cash flow and facility problems for charter public schools. We are here because we want equal funding for all public school students. So now it is your turn. I want to hear you say, yes, we do, If you believe that charter public schools and the students they serve deserve equal funding, if you believe that, let me hear you say, yes, we do. Let me hear you.
Yes, we do.
If you believe that students across California deserve better schools and that their parents deserve to know how those schools are performing, then let me hear you say, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
If you believe that this legislature should protect charter school flexibility to allow charter schools to continue to grow and change the future for thousands of students, then let me hear you say, yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
All right, thank you. Now let's get started. I'd like to introduce our first speaker this afternoon, the Executive Director of Families That Can. An organization that educates, empowers, and mobilizes parents to hold our elected leaders accountable for ensuring every child has access to a high-quality public education. FTC advocates for quality public school choices, fair treatment, and equal resources for charter public schools, and the advancement and growth of successful charter schools. Ladies and gentlemen, the terrific Corri Ravare.
Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. We are out here to demand fair funding and equitable funding for charter schools. Are we not? Now, our whole entire movement grew out of a demand from families who said, we want better schools. Out of the demand of families and parents and communities, we created this entire movement. And guess what? We can demand, we can create a reality where we are funded at a fair and equitable level because we can demand it. We've done many important things today. We've learned a lot over at the conference. But let me tell you, the most important thing that we're doing right now. We're letting our voices be heard. That is the most important thing that we can do on behalf of our children. Now, let me tell you something. As a charter community, we always find a way to do more with less. Our charter leaders are phenomenal at that. Our parents are phenomenal at that. We will do anything to provide for our children the education that they need. But enough is enough. We need to stop accepting the reality that our children's future somehow should be funded at a lower level than other children. That is not fair. That is not right. These children's lives, the children that we just saw from Oakland Military Institute, are their lives worth less than some other child? Of course not. Of course not. And what message are we sending to our children? Are they second-class citizens? Of course not, but some people seem to think so. And we're going to stop that. We're going to stop that, and today is the day we're going to say, this is enough. Our children should be funded at a fair and equitable level. And we're in a dogfight. We're not going to be able to ask for that. We're going to have to demand that. And it's starting today, but it's not going to end today, okay? I got to see you again and again and again until we've got fair funding for our students. This is a fight, but guess what? We're fighters. And it is my pleasure to introduce to you another fighter, a Native fighter from Sacramento, Miss Margaret Fortune.
Oh, it's a good day in Sacramento. Is it a good day in Sacramento? Oh, I'm so happy to see all of you here on the steps of our Capitol in my hometown, Sacramento. I want to give a shout out to the parents of Fortune School. And to all the parents who showed up today, rain or shine, give yourselves a shout out. You know, I've had the pleasure of working for two California governors, one Democrat and one Republican. And I can remember this Capitol being surrounded by advocates that are the keepers of the status quo. They will rattle your cage. They will knock on your door. They'll drive by your office. They'll stand in front of your children. They'll stand in between your children and opportunity. And they'll never go away. they'll declare it a state of emergency. But what is the emergency in this state? The emergency is that millions of children are going undereducated in a broken public school system, and the innovators that stand before us today fight battles that nobody ought to fight in order to get their kids educated. And so what must you do? What must you do? You must rattle the cage for reform with as much intensity as those that are protecting the status quo will fight to keep things the same because it advantages us, not because it advantages them, not us. We have to fight for our kids. These will be uncomfortable times. We know that. We fight at school board meetings. We stay up all night at these meetings demanding change. We stay up all night preparing for the kids. We make a commitment and a pledge to do whatever it takes. How many of you have made that pledge? This is a government in which the squeaky wheel gets the oil. It's time for the parents of the children of charter schools to make their presence known, in the halls of this Capitol like you've done this week. But you have to be relentless. There are children who have lost their lives because our public schools have not served them well. And yet in the halls of charter schools, we're having a very different conversation. Charter schools are the beacon of hope. Right now, in a time when public schools are beleaguered, the innovators, the fighters, the warriors, the believers in hope, and the miracle makers. All you are asking for is what you are entitled to, and that is what's fair. Fair and equitable funding for charter schools. Make some noise.
Thank you, Margaret. We have many wonderful supporters of charter schools here today, and at this time I want to acknowledge Norman Gonzalez, who's behind me. He's here at the rally on behalf of Congressman Tom McClintock, who has been a tremendous supporter of charter schools. So let's give Norman and the Congressman a round of applause. And it is now my great pleasure to introduce to you perhaps the most important supporter of charter schools in California, Governor Jerry Brown. Unlike any governor before him, Governor Brown knows intimately the struggles facing California charter schools. He started two of his own in Oakland, including Oakland Military Institute, who you heard from earlier. In his first year in office, Governor Brown has strongly supported charter schools. And while he works to restore California's fiscal house, his proposed budget starts to level the playing field for charter public schools. Please, once again, welcome our friend, Governor Jerry Brown.
Thank you. Okay, well, this is quite a crowd. It's cold, but the heat from your intensity and enthusiasm is already warming me up. So, yes, I did start out as mayor and look around and say we need a charter school in Oakland, and we got one. The Oakland Military School, are those cadets still here? They march off into the wilderness. They're back into Oakland. Okay. And that was a struggle. We had to not only go to the local school board, they said no. Then we went to the county board, and they unanimously said no. And then I had to come to the state board, and they unanimously said yes. So, but sometimes births are associated with pain. But after the pain comes the joy and the excitement of some new being in reality, and that's what charter schools are in California. And I wanted to say in that respect, thank you very much for supporting my proposed tax initiative that will bring more money to the schools of California and fix our budget finally. We need your support. We need the support of all the teachers and the supporters of the public schools of California. The important point to know is that we got to pull together. I just came back in Washington. The Republicans don't talk to the Democrats. Our country is facing tremendous challenges, and people fight over their party, over their ideology, over what part of the country they come from. And so in California, let's show people that we can pull together, not as Republicans or as Democrats or as charter schools or as the Unified School District, but as Californians first, supporting the creativity and the kids and the future of this state. We can do it together. Together we can overcome, and we will. One thing I like about a charter school is anybody can put a charter together with their own particular idea. And so it's power coming up, not from the bottom, not power coming down from the top. And that's a very important counterforce. So that's what you represent. You're rebels out there, insurgents. But you're kind of insurging against us because we're the establishment here. So you keep pushing us, and we'll keep pulling, and together we're going to have good charter schools, good public schools everywhere, and a better California. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Brown, for your remarks and for your support of charter schools. We could not ask for a more supportive governor who knows and understands firsthand the possibilities and the challenges that charter schools face. I am Jed Wallace. I am the CEO of the California Charter Schools Association. The membership and professional association representing the state's 982 schools serving 412,000 students. Thank you, charter school supporters, parents, and stakeholders of every kind for being here today. It is extremely gratifying to see that thousands are here today, whether you are in Sacramento attending our conference, whether you are here on the Mall today, for the sole purpose of letting our voice be heard, that charter schools should be funded at the same level as traditional public school students. Thank you, Jackie, Corri, and Margaret Fortune, all for coming today to express your views on why charter school funding equity is so important. A special thank you also to the students that are here today. I really loved how we heard how Southern California as well as Northern California is here. We are a state unified. Our voice will be heard because we are going to be calling together. We very much appreciate the students of Oakland Military Institute, the Color Guard, the students of Golden Valley Charter School for being part of our program. You will be hearing from them shortly. And for everyone here participating and demonstrating support for your charter school. We know at CCSA that funding is one, if not the most important challenges that charter schools are facing right now. And as you've already heard, funding challenges are making it almost impossible for new charter schools to start. But in spite of all of that difficulty, we continue to push through. The resiliency, the determination. We did somehow or another, in spite of all of that, find a way to open 300 new schools in the last 3 years. Most importantly, we know, our speakers know, and the governor knows, you all know, that charter school students should receive the same level of funding that traditional public school students do. In the year 2012, the year that our movement reaches its 20th anniversary, we cannot continue to have a two-tier system where public school students are funded at different levels. The message has been delivered loud and clear today by virtue of you being here, lending your voice, your time, your commitment to charter school students in your community and across the state. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Thank you for standing up for charter school students. Thank you for sending the message that charter schools and the students they serve deserve adequate and equitable funding. And please know that the California Charter Schools Association is here to support all of you on this quest. We will do all that we possibly can. So if anyone in this audience today has additional ideas, please bring them. We will work with all energy to support you in your efforts. Now I want to hear you just one more time. Do you believe that charter schools and their students deserve equal funding? Yeah! Thank you very much. I will turn it back to Jackie Elliot. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been seen and you have been heard today. But it can't just be today. What's happening today has to be the beginning of being seen and being heard across this state, up and down this state, many, many, many times. Someone said it today, the squeaky wheel gets the oil or something like that. We got to be really squeaky until we have funding equity and adequate funding for our schools. And now we are going to end with those that this is all what this is all about. We're going to end and bring to the stage the Golden Valley Charter School's 8th grade students. They're going to perform a spiritual that has endured through the ages down by the riverside. So please give a warm welcome to the students from Golden Valley Charter School.
Down by the riverside, way down by
So you have heard today that there are 412,000 children in charter schools, 412,000 families across this state that want adequate funding, they want funding equity. Every time in history when anything great has happened, it's because people have united in a vision and they have been seen and they have been heard. If we mobilize our families, we will get what we need. That is what, yeah, you should, that's good, yeah. So when you go home to Southern California, when you go home to San Jose, when you go home to somewhere in Sacramento, remember to respond to these calls to action that CCSA sends out. Remember to go to the rallies that are going to happen up and down this state. Remember that your voice matters, and remember that it's for the future of this state. So go home, have a safe journey home. Thank you. We are the Charter Movement, and you are amazing, all of you. Bravo.